Have you ever wondered how Scarlet Witch's duped ability works, or exactly what it does? Well, in today's video, we're gonna explain all about Veil of Fortune. So at dupe level 99, Scarlet Witch's duped ability in the game says whenever a critical hit occurs for either player, there's a 100% chance the Scarlet Witch triggers her chaos magic, generating 0 to 8 buffs or debuffs. So, you're a new player to the game, you dupe your Scarlet Witch, it is a great day. You go to read the signature ability, and it might as well just say, stuff might happen when you crit. That's pretty much it, doesn't really tell you what stuff, only that it might happen. Now, we move on to the point of the video, which is telling you guys all the stuff that can happen when, this effect occurs. Now, the first thing to bear in mind is that there are actually two different groups of 8 debuffs and buffs. There is the group when you are attacking as the Scarlet Witch and stuff that triggers, when she hits the enemy, and there is also a completely different set of buffs, debuffs, and effects that can occur when the Scarlet Witch is the one being crit and the one taking damage. So throughout the video, we're going to reference these two groups as attacking, which is, when Scarlet Witch is landing a crit on the enemy, and also being attacked, which is when an enemy is landing a crit on Scarlet Witch. So let's talk about all the stuff that could happen when you land a crit. So first up, we have Regeneration on Scarlet Witch. This heals for about 30% of her maximum health over 10 seconds. Really, really good. Then we have Increased Damage, which is portrayed by the kind of like orange fury icon, and also Increased Crit Damage, which is portrayed by the yellow kind of POW crit damage icon. Next, we have one of the most overpowered stuns in the game that lasts about 5 seconds with Masteries, and that is applied to the opponent. Then we have about a 10-second Power Lock debuff that can also be applied to the opponent. Next up, we have a Power Drain on the opponent, which instantly just zaps like 1 bar of power. It's pretty good. Then we have Weakness on the opponent, which doesn't really help too much, but it's useful, why not chuck it in there? And finally, we have a downside, and that's actually a small Armor Up buff, which is applied to the opponent. However, with Scarlet Witch, on every one of her crits, she has an 87% chance to nullify a buff, so if you do put this on the opponent, it's gonna go pretty quickly. So having a full idea of all the buffs and effects that can occur can really help you out in combat, as it's going to give you the knowledge you need to make kind of on-the-spot decisions, especially in some of the tougher fights. Should I try and bait this special? Should I go into attack? And if you do have a crit team, more often than not, it does actually pay to gamble and hope that in kind of a 5 combo, you're either going to get a stun, a power lock, a power drain, and then just keep on chaining that on. And also for the newer players, I hope this helps you understand why Scarlet Witch is such a great champion. Having Regeneration, Stun, Power Lock, and Power Drain, along with a lot of damage and being able to nullify on her crits, allows her to do almost anything in the game quite easily. So we've covered all the stuff that could possibly happen when the Scarlet Witch is attacking, but when she's being attacked, it's a totally different scenario. And knowing what could possibly happen when you're attacking into a Scarlet Witch is really, really useful for when you're fighting against her, maybe in Alliance War. Some people like to use her as a defender, but she's also quite a big roadblock in the Realm of Legends, and also a few other endgame activities. So the first two things that could possibly happen are a heal block and a poison. Now, for everybody that's attempted or completed the Realm of Legends, this is probably one of the most deadly combos when you're fighting Scarlet Witch. If you do get poisoned and then heal blocked, and maybe you get several stacks of poison, this can really, really eat through your health. A common strategy if you get heal blocked against Scarlet Witch and you have 1 stack of poison is just to hold off attacking her until the heal block expires. The next thing you need to be aware of is the power reset. So when you're attacking Scarlet Witch and you land a crit, she has a chance just to set both your power and also her power to 0. So, play safe for those level 1s and 2s. You probably want to get those off. If you're going for level 3s and a heavy crit team, you're probably not going to be able to land those too reliably. The next thing when she is being attacked is she has a chance to gain a power gain buff. So be aware that, if you are attacking her when she's the power gain gain buff, she's going to gain power at a much higher rate. So yeah, you need to play around that, or you could potentially like mess up and accidentally trigger a level 3. The next possible outcome is a power lock that is applied to you. Again, this one ain't too bad. Then we also have the debuff weakness as a potential outcome of landing a crit on Scarlet Witch. This ain't too bad, and it's kind of balanced out by the 8th point, which is increased damage. Actually attacking Scarlet Witch and landing a crit, you have a chance to get Fury as well. So if you've got one stack of Fury and one stack of weakness, they kind of, you know, cancel each other out almost. So it's not really something to be worried about or something that you can really play around. It's just something you need to be aware that it could happen. Then finally we have Armor Up, which if it triggers will be applied to the Scarlet Witch. So a lot of the effects on this list are actually quite negative, apart from the increased damage and maybe power reset at certain points. So if you do get several stacks of weakness, and also Scarlet Witch gets the Armor Up debuff, you'll probably find that you're dealing like close to no damage to Scarlet Witch. So at that kind of like point and opportunity in the fight, it is a good idea to maybe just lay off for like, you know, a good 5 to 10 seconds, just get a couple of parries, like prolong the fight until your buffs expire. So there you go, guys. You have all the information on how Scarlet Witch's duped ability works. Hopefully this allows you to get the most out of the character and kind of know that there is a champion that can just god mode most things down in the game. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, feel free to leave a thumbs up. That'd be greatly appreciated. If you enjoyed the video and would like to see more awesome Marvel Contest of Champions content, guides, tutorials, all that kind of fun stuff, feel free to click the subscribe button. That'd be greatly appreciated. Apart from that, guys, take care, and I hope that you have an absolutely fantastic day.